So usually when you sit down and read a book, it's linear, okay? You start from page 1 and you go all the way to the very end. You're just observing the story. You're not an active participant in it. What if I told you that there was a series of books where you could choose what happens in the story and you can be the protagonist? That's what these are. Choose your own adventure books. Guys, I love choose your own adventure books, okay? I think it started like, 4 years ago maybe, when I was at Ollie's of all places, which is like a bargain store, and I was looking at in the books section, and I found a thing of like 4 Oregon Trail, like choose your own adventure books. Now, they weren't part of the official like choose your own adventure series. They were like game books, but I started reading them. I was obsessed with them, and that's when I started collecting them, okay? And I started out, I only had a few books, okay? I had like, I think it was the Under the Sea one and then the Space one. I don't exactly know the titles. I started with those ones, and now I have this whole entire thing filled with books. And this is not all of them because they all couldn't fit in here. I have the Oregon Trail ones back here somewhere. Oh, I have another one, Escape from the Haunted Warehouse, but now I've collected all of these. I've also read a lot of Choose Your Own Adventure books on the Internet Archive because they have a lot of them on there, but I have been completely obsessed with them. I love reading them. I love interactive, storytelling and game books, and it just feels so, like, they just feel so much fun to read, okay? And they made me love reading a little bit, so I want to share that with you guys. I just want to tell you guys why you should read them. So the idea for the Choose Your Own Adventure books came about by a man named Edward Packard, okay? And it all started back in the 1970s when Packard would tell bedtime stories to his children, okay? And he had a character that he would always go back to, Peter, your boy Peter, and Peter would go on all these crazy adventures, okay? One night, he was telling the story, and he didn't have any ideas, okay? He was sitting there, he's like, man, I don't have any ideas. So then he started asking his kids, hey, what do you want to happen in the story? And they would, give the choices and stuff like that, and then it started getting bigger, and he's like, wow, this is actually kind of cool. And he started writing it down. He's like, wow, like I can like make something out of this, okay? And so then that's when he started writing the first Choose Your Own Adventure novel, The Adventures of You on Sugar Cane Island, okay? He wrote the first book, and he shopped it around to many different publishers, but all of them rejected, okay? They're like, get out of here, go, scurry, okay? He brought the book to a man named R.A. Montgomery. He worked for Vermont Crossroads Publishing, and he liked the book, okay? He liked the book. It's like, oh, this is pretty cool, okay? So then he decided to publish the book. He published the book, and the book sold 8,000 copies, which for a small publisher like Vermont Crossroads was huge at the time. So it started out small, and then it became huge, okay? Started in the 70s, ran all the way until the mid-90s, okay? Stopped for a little bit, but now they're still making new ones, guys. Look at this one. This is a, this one was published recently. This is a Stranger Things Choose Your Own Adventure novel. It's an official one, so it is still going on, guys. And did you know that the Choose Your Own Adventure book series actually has 180 books, okay? Or like 180, 184 books. That is insane, man. That is way more than I thought. The number one reason why you should read these books is because they have a lot of weird and wacky plots, okay? A lot of these books are out of the ordinary, okay? So here's number 5, Mystery of Chimney Rock. Okay, let me just read you the description. On your vacation in Connecticut, there's a huge empty stone house at the top of a hill, blah, 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 blah. Some of our covered wood finds the whole house known as Chimney Rock, okay? So you go into a spooky house. There is another one, the space one, where you are on a spaceship, training, and you can choose, because your parents are like aliens from 2 different planets, and you can choose, okay? There's an Under the Sea one, okay? But there are so many other ones. There's the one I have where you go to a theme park, like before it opens. They're going to have a grand opening, so you go to this theme park, okay? And all the rides are super deadly, man. There's that one. There's sports ones. There's like a snowboarding one, a lacrosse one, soccer, dude. There are so many crazy ones. There's a one at the Statue of Liberty. You have an adventure at the Statue of Liberty, okay? There is such a, like, variety of, like, different weird and wacky plots, okay? A lot of these books, like, you can tell, like, they had fun writing these, okay? Because, like, genuinely, like, I'll be reading, and I'm just like, it's so, like, I mean, it's a kid's book, so, like, a lot of the time, some of the plots will not make sense. Some of them are, like, dude, some of them are actually, like, surprisingly very dark, dude. Like, some of the endings are very dark, the ways you die. Dude, like, in the theme park one, dude, one of them is, like, you literally, you get, like, hit by a car, dude. You get hit by a car. Another one is, like, you fall off this, like, one of them is, like, you're in your hotel room, like, playing video games. You decide to bring the TV into the bathroom to play. The TV falls in. You get electrocuted and die. Like, what? What is that doing in a kid's book, man? There's such a variety of stories. So, like, if you don't like one, just, like, go on to another one, dude. Another reason why you should read these books is because you feel like the main character, okay? So if you guys don't know, like, what the main thing about these books is that they are written in the second person. You may be wondering, second person? I've only heard of first and third person, okay? What is second person? Well, second person means that you are the character. So it says, for example, while you are waiting for Michael, you walk around the house, tapping on the windows and doors. So it says you, okay? So it puts you, instead of, like, describing a character like, you know, first person is like I. Oh, third person is like Jimmy went to the store. It's you went to the store. You feel like you're in the book, so it's like you want to do good. You're like, oh, if it's a survival book, oh, I gotta survive, okay? Chimney Rock, oh, I gotta make it out of the spooky mansion alive, okay? It really immerses you in the story because it's like you feel like you're there. Reason number 3 why you should read these books, okay, is because it feels like a game, okay? Now, there are books that are more like this. They are called game books, okay? Game books, like fighting fantasy and stuff. Those books have even, like, more, like, interactivity to them. Like, they have, like, you can, like, do dice rolls. Or, like, I have a book in here. Where is it? This one right here. This is Into the Dungeon. Choose Your Own Path book. But this one is even cooler because at the beginning of the book, you can create your own character. See, look. They have characters that you could pick, and each of them has, like, health, strength, dexterity, charm, charisma. What am I trying to say? Charisma, okay? And so then you pick this character, and while you're reading, sometimes they have special challenges. So, like, for example, this page, it says, if your dexterity is 2 or below, take a point of damage as you slip and chatter down the stairs. Otherwise, you right yourself and make it down unharmed. So, based on, like, what kind of, like, what your, like, skills are in this book, it changes, okay? So it's even more, you know, it's even more like a game. And some of the books, like, even have, like, puzzles, like dice rolling puzzles and stuff like that. The Choose Your Own Adventure books are not like that. Most of them are just like, you know, you just read and you choose. But it still feels like a game, okay? Because you're like, okay, you're reading the page and you get to the choices. You're like, okay, which one is it? What choice is it? This one's kind of good. And a lot of times they make it hard because they're like, they'll give you, like, pros and cons for each of them. And you got to really think about, okay, is this, like, a good choice? Like, how is this going to affect me, you know? What's great about these books is that, like, how much these books changed over the years, okay? Because, like, the first few books, as you can see, this one has 36 possible endings. That's quite a bit, okay? And, you know, so, and this book is, like, not that long. Like, this book is around, like, 100 pages here. Well, that's also including pictures. So maybe if you took out, like, all the illustrations, it would probably be, like, 90 or so pages, okay? With 36 endings. So that's, like, pretty quick, okay? So you're usually only reading, like, maybe 1 or 2 pages, maybe 3 pages to get to an ending. But as they go on, okay, there gets less and less endings, so you have to read a lot more. Okay, for example, like, in the theme park one, Daredevil Park, that one only has that one is like 90 something pages, and that one only has 11 endings. And one of the paths, you have to read like 10 pages before you ever get to, like, a choice, okay? So those stories can be a little bit more, like, complex and stuff, because if you have, like, 36 endings, you gotta have a lot of choices. It's harder to make, like, the story more cohesive. The story's gonna kind of be all over the place, but if you have, like, less endings and stuff, like, there's, like, a magician one where you're, like, tracking down this, like, evil magician, and that one didn't have as many endings. There's even a one I read where it was, like, where your aunt moves into a haunted house, okay? And you go investigate it. That book only has 8 endings, okay? So it's about the same pages as this, like 90 or so pages, but it only has 7 endings, okay? So the story feels a lot more like cohesive. That one's actually pretty good, okay? And you have to read a lot more in order to, and also they got a little bit more complex. Like some of them would have like, some of these have like looping endings where like you would go loop back, or like some of them would have like fake outs and stuff like that, or like one thing would go to this one. Like it would get a lot more confusing. So it feels like a game. It feels like a shifting maze that you just gotta like keep going around and try to find your way. And reason number 4 why you guys should read these books is because you never know what's gonna happen. Literally, you never know what's gonna happen. These books have so many insane plot twists, and sometimes, like some of the endings could be cop outs. Yeah, like sometimes you just like, oh, you just like you turn to a page and just like you die, or it just says, oh, you walk off into the sunset. But dude, when I tell you the amount of times I've been reading these books, I'm like, what? Okay, like, dude, literally, there is a book that I read. There was one, I don't know if this is a newer one, but it's like you are like, I think you're like a it's called Track Star. You are a track star training, and the whole message of this book is like, don't do steroids, okay? The main character is like a track star, you know, and he gets like, and then these people come up to him and they're like, hey, you should try this. But dude, when I tell you that one of the endings in this book is like a crazy like chase, like your friend like is part of this drug group that deals these drugs. You literally go to like their place or something, and like you have like, you get chased by the cops or something, dude. I'm like, what? What is this, dude? Like, I did not expect that. I literally, like, I usually when I read these books, I make like charts. I literally wrote, what the heck is happening? Yeah, they can be cheesy sometimes. I will admit, guys, I will admit that these books right here are not like high literature. Okay, these books, first of all, I mean, like, I know, like, kids, I'm saying these are meant for kids, but, like, yeah, kids should still have good books, okay? But these, like, the writing is not the best writing. It's not the best writing, okay? Sometimes it can be pretty, like, you know, like, bare bones, but it does the job, and it makes it interesting, okay? And these books are crazy. Sometimes the plots don't make any sense, okay? There's a lot of plot holes, there's craziness happening, there's conveniences, but it really doesn't matter. Sometimes some of the stories are dumb, but sometimes they're just so ridiculous, and like the setting is so interesting, and there's so much like crazy stuff happening that you're just like, holy crap, dude. Now, you know what? I want to show you guys some of the other like books that I have, because I do have a lot of choose your own adventure books, but I also have some other ones that are not exactly choose your own adventure books, but they're still like interactive. Like this one, for example, To Be or Not to Be. This is, I actually have this one, and here's the other one in the series. This one, and Romeo and or Juliet. These are interactive books that are about, like, basically, this one retells Hamlet, but it's all interactive, okay? But this one is crazy. This one is a lot longer than the other ones, okay? So a normal Choose Your Own Adventure book, like I said, is around, like, 90 pages. This one, like, in the nodes, okay? So you, like, those ones have, yeah, probably has, like, 9 or so nodes. This one is, like, 450, okay? Those other ones might have 36 endings. This one has over 100 endings. And so does this one, too. And also, each of these has, like, a cool, like, illustration, dude, on each of the endings, man. So crazy. And this one's a lot more lighthearted, okay? Like, it's written in a lot more lighthearted style. Like, it breaks the fourth wall. There's books within a books in this one. And in this one, too, there's, like, a side quest that you can go on where you're, like, the nurse. And it's, like, in, like, video game font, dude. Like, these are insanely fun books, okay? I think I picked these up about, like, 3 years ago, because I read one of them. I picked one of them up at the library, and I just started reading them. Like, dude, I had to buy these. So you should buy them. Ryan North, there's also, I think this one has a, like, it's a game on Steam. It's not really a game. It's basically just, like, a audiobook version, but, like, you can, like, click around and stuff like that and earn, like, achievements. So, yeah, that one is good. Another cool one I want to show you guys is this one right here. Can You Survive the Zombie Apocalypse? This one is really cool. Like I said, it's a zombie apocalypse one. This one is like an adult one. This is more like, this one is very like gritty and like really feels like I was reading it. It's real. It does a really good job of making you feel like you're in one of these. You're like a protagonist in like a zombie movie. And you're trying to survive, dude. Like you get stuck in a taxi around all these zombies, dude. Or like you get trapped in your apartment. And you got to decide how to get out of each situation. And this one is pretty big, dude. This one's like 400 something pages. I think it has like 50 or so endings. This one is like an adult, like one interactive book where it's like you win the lottery. This one is you win the lottery, so you can like choose how, like you can choose what to do with it. There's another one in this series. Yeah, I've read a little bit of this one. This one has a lot of endings. This one has like over 100. I think this one is maybe over 100. I don't know. It's really long. It's like almost 500 freaking pages, dude. Which is like crazy. That's a lot. Okay, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed this little video. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Adios, amigos.